Hey guys, so why is Dave Chappelle's new comedy special, Sticks and Stones, so important? Let me tell you why. Because Germany is officially the world's least funny country. And I live in Germany, okay? And do you know what happens when you live in the least funny country? Well, it makes people miserable. And that's why Germany is the most miserable nation in the European Union. That's not good, folks, okay? Living here, living in the absence of funny, that creates a lot of unpleasant scenarios, okay? So if you want to smile and laugh, you have to open the doors to comedy. You can't close them. Now that is obvious to me, okay? I'm from the United States. I live in Germany. I like humor, and I can see that we're in desperate need of it. So I thank God for Netflix and Dave Chappelle every day, okay? These two brought together is a force to be reckoned with. We need the laughter. Now, I understand this. Perhaps you understand this, but many don't understand this. Just look at these headlines, okay? You can definitely skip Dave Chappelle's new Netflix special, Sticks and Stones. Why should you skip it? Please explain why you should skip it. It's a comedy special. If you like comedy, you ought to check it out and give it a chance and be open-minded, okay? It may not be for everyone, but for someone to put a blanket statement out there that everyone should skip it is preposterous. Check this out. From The Guardian, shock and bore. How Dave Chappelle lost his comic touch? Excuse me? How did he lose his comic touch? The guy is on the pulse of comedy. He may even be the highest paid comedian in the world, and people love and adore this man. He's been working in this craft for decades. The man is a genius, okay? I started off with Half-Baked, as it ran on loop, basically, on Comedy Central when I was living in my first apartment in Hollywood, Florida. And I thank goodness for that film. It made me laugh so much, and the man's career has just gone wild. I mean, with the Chappelle Show, Block Party, stand-up, you name it, the guy is reaching every corner of the comedy world and tickling the funny bone. What does Vox have to say? Dave Chappelle's Netflix special targets Michael Jackson's accusers, Me Too, and cancel culture. It targets them as if he's a hunter? Targets them as if he wants blood? Really? He put them in the crosshairs. He targeted them. His aim is to take them down. I'm not so sure that was his target. I think his target was to make people laugh. Because if the man wasn't doing that, he would not be on the stage and paid so very handsomely. Check this out. Vanity Fair. Dave Chappelle aims to shock with Michael Jackson, Louis C.K., Kevin Hart jokes. Aims to shock? Okay, shock doesn't translate to laughter. Okay, there's shock when you're driving down the highway and there's a horrific accident that you just happen to come by and see. That's shock, and I don't think it necessarily inspires laughter. The man's aim is to tell jokes and be funny. He's a comedian, okay? Check this out. The fear in Dave Chappelle's new special. As if this man is afraid and speaking from a position of fear, as if he's so uncomfortable with the world around him, that's where he is? I don't think so. I think he might have it better than most, where he's seeing the funny in these things. It's not fear, it's reason and it's logic that brings this man to discuss the topics he does. Check this out. Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones aims to offend and fails? Well, that might be half right, okay? I'm not so sure his aim was to offend, but okay, if that was his aim, he did fail because that's not what was translated from the screen to me, that the man was aiming to offend. I think he was aiming to pull on a thread, yeah? Because we're all so tightly wound together, and he's basically trying to help us through it. He's basically saying, these are growing pains, folks, and let's not get ahead of ourselves. Check this out. Dave Chappelle takes aim again at Michael Jackson's accusers. Me Too movement in new Netflix special takes aim. Hunter warrior taking aim, taking down the herd. The Guardian, Dave Chappelle under fire for discrediting Michael Jackson accusers in Netflix special. Discrediting? How did he discredit them? He shared his opinion, his belief, his thought of them. He's not in a court of law. He can't possibly discredit them with a mere opinion. Okay? If you think that that's discrediting a person, then you're off base, dude. Come on, man. Reel it in. NME, Michael Jackson's accusers respond to Dave Chappelle's saying he doesn't believe them. We can't let this type of behavior silence us. Of course you can't let it silence you. Why would you let it silence you? Dave Chappelle is basically practicing his freedom of speech on stage. I'm pretty sure he's encouraging everyone to do the same. So how on earth would that be any motivation to be silenced? Okay? People are laughing, having a good time, sharing in a moment where this man is opening up his mind and sharing the thoughts within, and some of them hit a nerve. It doesn't have to make everyone laugh. Obviously not. If you're someone who may have been a victim, understandable. It may not be funny to you. But come on. We're talking about this special that was on HBO, and a lot of people sharing this man's opinion of not believing these guys. It doesn't mean that they're right. It just means they don't believe in them. That's okay, ladies and gentlemen. We're not talking about the judge and jury here. We're talking about a comedian. And Dave Chappelle's Netflix special may be politically incorrect. And it might be the most politically incorrect comedy show ever. Okay, well that to me would be an achievement to be proud of. Because when is comedy politically correct? What on earth are you guys thinking? Those who have written these articles, those who follow that narrative. I mean, it is so easily seen that the man is telling jokes. He's sharing funnies. He's trying to make you laugh. I mean, the show opens up, sticks and stones, and you see these computer-generated sticks and stones kind of flying at you, right? I mean, what on earth do you think that means? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Is he saying that these are virtual sticks and stones and that we've found a way in this modern day to hurt people with sticks and stones that are virtual? No, he's saying, look at these sticks and stones which are virtual flying at you that don't actually ever hit you. You cannot be hurt by them. They're words. Okay? And then he goes into his special. And he starts off by singing a bit of Prince's 1999. And he says, we need to party like 1999. And oops, out of time. I think he's kind of setting the stage for, hey guys, don't take things too seriously. Life is precious. Because before you know it, poof, it might be gone. And then he shares a story about his friend who he knew as a child and was an amazing person and had a bright future ahead of themselves. And then many years later, he encounters this person, and his future didn't really turn out that way. He's the manager of a Foot Locker wearing a referee costume. And guess what? No reason to kill himself. Life's not so bad, and life is never perfect. Not for Dave Chappelle, nor anyone else. And it's your choice, right? To either suck a lemon or make some lemonade. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. The man is kind of helping you, guiding you, holding your hand through this growing pain that we're all experiencing in this climate of everyone being addicted to trying to control pain, to even trying to stop it entirely. It's not going to happen. What would be the better solution is to laugh about our pain. You know, a joke if told enough times, loses a little bit of its steam. Okay? Comedians always have focused in on the awkward nature of humanity and brought a light to it and made us more comfortable with it. That's the whole entire point. If no one makes jokes about all of these uncomfortable scenarios that we experience, then they will continue to be uncomfortable forever. Okay? So let's think this through. Dave Chappelle, should we take what he's saying seriously, or should we just decide to either laugh or turn the TV off? I would say laugh a bit and continue to watch it to the end. But if you turn it off, that's okay too. It doesn't have to float your boat. It doesn't have to peel your banana. But it's okay, someone else is going to eat that whole entire banana in one bite because it's delicious. And that's just the way it is. And he also said in his special, okay, he said that there's no 36-year-old pussy that's good. Now, obviously, that can easily offend a lot of people, especially if you're female and you're 36 or older. Well, is he serious? I doubt it. The man has been married since 2001, okay, to his wife, Elaine, who was born in 1974. She's 44 years old. Do you think he really stopped engaging in intimacy with his wife at age 35? And that they have this marriage that somehow works magically? I doubt it. I don't think so. I think he's joking. Yeah? And furthermore, I think what really hit a sore spot were the jokes regarding the LGBTQ community. Fair enough. A lot of these people have faced a lot of discrimination, and my heart pours out for them. And you know what? The ones that I'm friends with don't have much trouble joking about it because it is funny. Just like he said, I can't stop telling jokes about these motherfuckers. Yeah? And he was speaking of the T. Okay? Now, does that translate to hate? No. What he said, and I quote, he said that the idea of a person who's born in the wrong body, it's a hilarious predicament. Is that some sort of off-base crazy comment? Should that be censored? I mean, honestly, what is he basically saying? He's saying that all of these films, like Big with Tom Hanks, or 18 Again with George Burns, or Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis, or Like Father Like Son with Dudley Moore, or Vice Versa with Fred Savage, or Dream a Little Dream with the two Coreys, or The Hot Chick with Rob Schneider, or 17 Again with Zac Efron, or 13 Going on 30 with Jennifer Garner, or even The Change Up with Jason Bateman. He's saying the same thing as the premise of all those films. To be stuck in the wrong body is funny. It's funny to wake up one day when you've spent your entire life as a young boy in a man's body. It's funny to wake up one day and to be a man who's in a woman's body. There's a lot of humor, obviously, about that. That's all he's saying. We all know it to be true, but somehow we can't allow ourselves to admit it because then we would lose favor with a big cross-section of society, which we care deeply about. But that's just not true. You can laugh and care and love, and they also kind of fall under the same umbrella. These are things that make society better. Laughter, joy, camaraderie, giggles, silly, silly Billy times together. This is some of the best stuff. So this is why Dave Chappelle's special is so important. It takes a bold stand, and it identifies all, more or less, of these very sensitive, sore subjects that in many ways can lead to your entire career and life being turned upside down if you even mention them in the wrong way. And he puts light on what is the wrong way when he discusses on how he was brought into an office by a woman named Renee to discuss how he couldn't use the F word in his sketch comedy. And it made him think, well, why is it I can use the N word with impunity but not the F word? And which word is okay? Well, you know what? The short answer is every word is okay. Because it's sticks and stones that'll break your bones. And the long answer is no word is okay. Because every word in any particular situation can cause grief, sadness, despair, anger, frustration, rage, or joy, happiness, laughter, love. It's all very relevant to who's there and what is the intention behind it. Yeah, words can hurt your feelings, but not hurt your body. Come on, folks. I hate to say it and sound like cliche, but toughen up, man. Gosh, I was tormented like no one's business growing up. I was bullied left, right, and center. And I didn't enjoy it. It hurt my feelings greatly. But walking through that fire made me stronger. You know? Having my confidence basically rattled and shaken until it was nearly completely eviscerated actually helped me find out how to rebuild it and make it so I won't be a victim of verbal harassment. You can say whatever it is you want to say to me. And this is the point, is that when a joke is said enough times, either it just loses all its strength, or you're basically stuck in a time warp where you're not progressing. Okay? Things get diluted over time. They lose their strength. And the only way to do that is to just have a plethora of it nonstop until it loses its strength. This is what we do, folks. We work through these things. It's growing pains, right? And you can't stop it. These pains are what we experience as human beings. None of us are born enlightened, unless maybe you're the Dalai Lama. I don't know. I don't know too much about it. But if you look at the noble path for a Buddhist, it's not so hard. I'm sorry, I meant to say it's not so easy. It may not be so hard if you live in a temple in Tibet and you're surrounded by nature and a bunch of folks who are passive. Then it may not be so hard. But if you're living in New York City, if you're living in LA, if you're living in Dusseldorf, if you're living in Berlin, if you're living in any sort of, modern-day westernized city, it's pretty hard to be a Buddhist. It's pretty hard to not have cravings, right? It's pretty hard not to be led by your ego, yeah? But it's people like Dave Chappelle that help us walk away from it, to move away from our ego, by showing us how ridiculous in nature all of these things we get so upset about are, right? He says that he had tough times when he was a kid. He was poor. He couldn't afford to go to the dance. He was humiliated having to dig out pennies to pay for the $3 entrance fee to this dance that was so important to him. This wasn't easy for him, right? But it's through getting through it and being able to laugh about it that makes it easier, yeah? It's wanting things to be better that makes it easier. It's not by sticking your head in basically some sort of time capsule of misery which will ever lead you towards progress. You have to let it go. You have to let it go. If this man is making countless people laugh, okay, and a few people angry, what do? Cancel him? And then what? Become the most miserable planet in the universe? Because it doesn't work, folks. When you take out the funny, you put in the misery. And this is the point he's making about Kevin Hart, right? This guy's funny. He makes people laugh, okay? He spoke his mind several years back. It's an uncomfortable thing for some people to process, but not all. And it's comedy. So it's not meant to make everyone laugh all the time. It's for a particular time and moment, and it's for a particular set of people, and for them it's great. They get to turn away from the pain and misery of daily life and struggle and laugh. And then he got pulled from the Oscars. He willingly didn't do the job, but obviously he couldn't do it with the premise that he had to apologize to the Academy. So what did you do? You took the funny out. Same thing with Sarah Silverman, who recently was outed for a sketch she did years ago, and she was pulled from a film. You take the funny out, you add the misery. Not the way to go, folks. I'm living in the least funny country in the world, where people literally walk around like it's the Wild West, and every moment their life is in danger, and everyone is a marauder, and everyone's out to get you. It's just reckless abandon. I mean, what I'm talking about is when I'm walking down the street here in Dusseldorf, which is a really well-to-do, affluent place for the most part. I don't even know what street toughs look like in this area, nor do I know if they even exist. Okay, it's basically what looks like the safest place in the world, like a Norman Rockwell picture. And lo and behold, as I walk down the street, I see people opening their front door and peering out like it's the damn Wild West. Like there are gunslingers everywhere. Like the sheriff is absolutely corrupt. It's a lawless place. Why is that? Because there's no funny here. There's no funny. There's no smiling. And when I do find it, and I don't want to discount the fact that it does exist in certain pockets, it might be spread out, but when I do find it, I embrace it. Just like I embrace this Netflix special with Dave Chappelle. I wrap my arms around it and I thank God it exists. Because what is life without funny, without smiles? A lot of people say it's dishonest. Small talk, it's dishonest. Smiling. You're only doing it to please others. Well, when did that become so out of style, pleasing others? That goes back thousands of years. It's a good thing to please others, especially if they're in your community. Don't you want that feeling that others care about you? Because sometimes when you experience that everyone's looking at you like this, it's a pretty crappy feeling. Thank goodness for the pleasant DHL package delivery man. Thank goodness for the wonderful lady behind the bread counter at my favorite bakery. Thank goodness for these individuals who just throw a smile my way. Thank goodness. And you know what? It's returned tenfold. I'm there to sing them a song, to do them a dance, because my goodness, that's what fuels me up. Okay? And this is why, folks, I hate to say it, a lot of people are afraid of the automation that's rolling in. Automated checkout lines. What's going to happen to society if it's all robots? Well, I hope it's not all robots, but you know what? If you can't put up a smile, then send in the robots. Okay? Because these people at these checkout lines that are nothing but miserable are the gatekeepers of misery. You can literally walk into a supermarket in a great mood, want to grab your strawberries, want to grab your milk, get your crunchy peanut butter, and then you get to that checkout and it's just nothing but sobbing and just like no heart throbbing and just long grimaces down to the floor, and you leave a little bit impaired. These people are pushing the misery. It's like a domino. So you know what? Throw a robot up in there, slap a smiley emoji on it. I'll be happy to do that stuff myself. Cling, check, check, chickity chick. I can leave with a smile. Albeit artificial, albeit computer generated, is better than this long ass grimace. It ain't getting you nowhere. It's not tying the society together. It's not working out, folks. Least funny country, most miserable country. Figure it out. Open the doors to comedy. Open your mind to new ideas. And don't get me wrong. If you happen to be some actual victim and you hear jokes told about the same sort of thing that happened to you, there's no expectation for you to think that's funny. We've all had hardships in our lives. I've heard jokes told that hit a nerve. I don't go rolling down the aisles laughing. I don't necessarily like those kinds of jokes. But you know what? It doesn't hurt me. It's okay. Why? Because I'm not forced to be around it 24/7. I can take doses of uncomfortable feelings. I can take those doses of misery, as long as we can pad it with some humor and some funny. So you just kind of got to jump over it. Remember Frogger navigating that busy road? Well, just think of those cars as being miserable moments. Dodge them. Don't just stay on one side of the street and never seeing what's on the other side. Make a break for it. Go for it. And this is why Sticks and Stones by Dave Chappelle is so very important. It's the crossroads, folks. He's basically put it up for you that you can go this way or this way. He basically made it so black and white that there's no other way to see it. It's a sensitive time. You're either going to go one way, condemning it, or another way, praising it. And I can just imagine, I might be wrong, but I think if you praise it, you're probably more or less on a better way towards being centered, finding balance. Okay? You don't have to praise every moment, but just the simple fact that this man put together this entire set by himself is incredible. He's super talented. Okay? And as far as, placing blame on the victims of Michael Jackson, all he did is share what he thinks. He says he doesn't believe them. I don't think they were telling the truth. Okay? It doesn't change a thing. It's just one man, one opinion. He also shared that he said that Juicy Smollett, okay, not believable. The guy's obviously lying, he said. So why is that not troubling? But with Michael Jackson, it is. These are two cases of individuals who have made allegations or claims, which both cases have individuals that are holding firmly on to their initial claims. Their allegations haven't changed. So, Juicy Smollett, he's a fake-ass motherfucker. But he still says to this day that every word is accurate, so it's okay to discredit him? He's not discrediting anyone. He's sharing his opinion. So either it's okay to share your opinion and your thoughts, or it's not. I'm going to go this way. Share your opinion. I can turn away if I don't like what you say. Okay? No worries. It's not about a fact-finding mission when you share an opinion. Okay? It's not stated factually. It's a belief, a thought. They come and they go. And if we take so long to process it, to make it so sure that it's safe and controlled and non-offensive, it's not even a thought worth sharing anymore. Then it becomes more or less just drama and contrived. This man is fresh. He's real. He took to the stage. He shared his mind. He knows with the certain climate that surrounds society today that there will be the ups and downs. He knows that he basically put a pop quiz in front of each and every one of us, and either we're going to pass it or we're going to fail it. If we pass it, we move on to better, bigger, brighter futures. And if we fail it, back on the hamster wheel. So my suggestion is open your mind, open your heart, and just, if you can, don't hate. Yeah, don't hate. If someone's laughing about something sensitive, even though it might conjure up feelings of grief or sadness or despair, it's not hate. It's not. It's actually love. It might not be your particular variety of love that you might be interested in, but that's what it is, folks. Like Judge Judy always said, don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. So there you have it. That's why Dave Chappelle's special, Sticks and Stones, is so very important. And that's why I've already seen it 3 times. It's brilliant. For me, that's all I've got to say. Those are my thoughts. It is my belief. And it's out of love. Big ups to the sunshine. Much love to you. Have a wonderful day.